Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In our last lecture, we were discussing about the vector space, definition of vector space, and we have discussed about some examples also. Today we will discuss some general properties of a vector space. These properties are very helpful to prove a theorem of vector space. So let's start our today's video with the first property of a vector space, that is A dot 0 vector is equals to 0 vector. I will use 0 for 0 scalar to prove these properties, and I will write 0 vector like this. This is our 0 vector. So let's prove this property. We will start from the LHS. So A dot 0 vector, this 0 vector can be written as the sum of two 0 vectors, so we can write it like this: 0 vector plus 0 vector. Since the sum of two 0 vectors is again a 0 vector, so we are using this. So if I use the distributivity over these two 0 vectors, then this becomes A dot 0 cap plus A dot 0 cap by using distribution law. Then this can be written as 0 cap plus A dot 0 cap, because by the existence of identity in V plus, if we add 0 vector to any element, the value of the element doesn't change. That's why I can add 0 vector to this element, and this can be written as A dot 0 cap plus A dot 0 cap. Now since V plus is an abelian group by the definition of a vector space, an abelian group then we can use cancellation law. Then by right cancellation law, we can write zero cap is equal to A dot 0 cap, and this concludes our first property. So our first property is proved, that is, whenever you multiply or take this product of 0 vector with any element, you will always get a 0 vector. Here A is a scalar because we are taking it from the field, so this is nothing but representing the scalar multiplication with 0 vector. So the product of a scalar with 0 vector is always a 0 vector. Now let's move to our second property. This time this is a scalar, that is 0 scalar. So 0 scalar dot alpha, where alpha is coming from the vector space V, is equals to 0 vector. That is, when you multiply a 0 scalar with a vector, you will always get a 0 vector. So let's prove this property. So 0 dot alpha can be written as 0 plus 0 dot alpha, because since this 0 scalar can also be written as 0 plus 0. So if I again use distributivity, then this becomes 0 dot alpha plus 0 dot alpha. Now again, if I add 0 vector to this element, there will be no change in the value of the element. So I can write it like this. like this. So 0 dot alpha plus 0 dot alpha. Again, since V plus is an abelian group, so I can use right cancellation law. So this becomes 0 cap is equals to 0 dot alpha. So this is our second property, and it is also proved. Now let's move to our third property, that is A dot minus alpha, where this alpha is a vector, is equals to minus of A alpha. That is, it is nothing but the additive inverse of this element. So this element is the additive inverse of this element, and we will prove this by taking A alpha plus minus alpha. So we can use distributivity. So this becomes A dot alpha plus A dot minus alpha. Now alpha is the element of V and we are adding it with the additive inverse of alpha. So this can be written as 0 vector by the existence of inverse property, and this is equals to A dot alpha plus A dot minus alpha. Here A dot 0 can be written as 0 vector by using property number 1. So I can write it as 0 vector is equals to A dot alpha equal to A plus A dot minus alpha. Now the sum of two elements is 0 vector. This implies that the first element must be the inverse of additive inverse of other. That's why I am getting 0 vector on LHS. That is A dot minus alpha is the additive inverse of A alpha. So I can write it as A dot minus alpha is equals to minus A alpha. So this is our property number 3. It states that if you take A dot minus alpha, this can also be written as minus of A dot alpha. And this exactly implies that these two elements are additive inverse of these elements have a additive inverse as A dot minus alpha. Now let's move to our next property. So this is our fourth property, A dot alpha minus beta is equals to A alpha minus A beta. In order to prove this property, we will take A dot alpha minus beta. I can write this element in this form, that is alpha plus minus beta, and if I use distributivity, this becomes A dot alpha plus A dot minus beta, and if I use the property number 3, then this can be written as A dot alpha plus A dot minus alpha can be written as minus A dot alpha, where alpha was a vector. So beta is also a vector. So A dot minus beta can be written as minus of A dot beta. I hope you are getting it. And if I take A, and this can be written as, if I take A as common, then this becomes A alpha minus A dot beta. And this is the thing that we need to prove, that is A dot alpha minus beta is equals to A alpha minus A beta. So this was nothing but just a property. That's why I am proving it. We will learn some more properties in this video. So let's move to our next property. This property is a little important, that is A dot alpha. That is, when you take the product of a vector with a scalar, you will always get a 0 vector. And if this type of condition is holding, this implies that either the scalar is a zero scalar, or the vector that we have taken is a 0 vector. So if the product of two elements is equal to the 0 vector, then either of them must be 0. So let's prove this property. So if A dot alpha is equals to 0 cap, then let's multiply A inverse on both sides by A inverse on both sides. So this can be written as A inverse dot A alpha is equals to A inverse dot 0 vector. By using distributivity of product, this can be written as A inverse dot A into alpha is equals to 0 vector, because when we multiply any element with 0 vector, we always get 0 vector, as we have discussed in property number 1. Now A inverse A is nothing but the unity of the field F. So this can be written as 1 dot alpha is equals to 0 vector. Since 1 is the unity element of the field F, so it cannot be 0. So our vector alpha must be a zero vector. So this was the first term that we have proved, that whenever the product of two elements, that is the product of scalar or vector, scalar with vector is zero vector, then the vector is zero vector. Now we will prove that this product also implies that the scalar may be a zero scalar. So let A dot alpha equal to zero vector, and alpha is a non-zero vector here. Then we have to prove that A equal to 0. Suppose that A is a non-zero scalar. Then A inverse must exist. So let's multiply this product with A inverse on both sides. So this becomes A inverse dot A alpha is equals to A inverse dot 0 vector. So if I multiply, this becomes A inverse dot A into alpha is equals to A inverse dot 0. This can be written as the unity element of the field F. So this becomes 1 dot alpha is equals to 0 vector. This implies that alpha is equals to 0 vector, but we have assumed that alpha is non-zero here. So we get a contradiction. This implies that our supposition was wrong. So A must be a zero vector. So this proves the property number 5. I hope this property is clear to all of you, and I am discussing each and every point of the linear algebra. Tomorrow I will discuss about the vector subspace and its properties. I hope you guys like this video, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.